Welcome to the Knuckleheads of Liberty.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What was your path on this? How did you get involved with this organization? How did it start? And what are some of the challenges you face?
Sure. So in 2007, no, 2007? Yeah, 2007. Late 2007, my wife and another couple, we were out in the desert on federal land, and we were camping and off-roading and shooting and doing nothing illegal, doing everything right, cleaning up after ourselves. We were in an area that was okay to shoot and off-road in, and a law enforcement officer harassed me. Is really what happened. He came and was ready to arrest me over a pump action shotgun that he said was illegal. And when I showed him, that he was wrong, very politely and professionally, that no, my shotgun was completely and totally legal. He kind of, the attitude, I guess, towards what we were doing is if we were doing something wrong rather than doing something that I felt more people should be doing. The fact that he was ready to arrest me, even though I had a conversation with him afterwards and found out, I was being very polite and nice and everything. I certainly didn't want to harass this guy back or, bow my chest or, whatever. I mean, this guy had the upper hand. He's a federal agent. He could have arrested me. So I didn't want to, be rude or whatever. I didn't want to, play on this guy's emotions. I was very polite, professional, and friendly. And come to find out, he was a gun guy, and he actually came to that same chunk of land with his friends and did the same thing and didn't agree with the laws that he didn't understand and was ready to arrest me over. And that was heartbreaking. I can't put it any other way. It was not just, it didn't just make me angry. It wasn't just inconvenient. It was an emotional experience that this guy was, all it took for him to sell his principles down the road was a government check. That's all it took. So I went back and told coworkers and friends what had happened to me over the weekend, and their attitude was disheartening as well. I kind of got this, well, what were you doing out there with guns? And I thought, having fun. Why weren't you out there with me with guns? That whole thing, I knew right then and there, things have to change. And I jumped in with both feet. I got involved. The NRA had some local meetings. Joined their group, joined the Republican Party, joined a bunch of different campaigns, and just got as involved in politics as I possibly could. Did some things right, did some things, wrong, made some mistakes, learned from the mistakes. And then back in about 2017, got together with some others and said, hey, we're going to start an organization. We're going to start a Second Amendment organization that basically that has the same traits, has the same characteristics as some of the other political organizations in town, but we focus on the Second Amendment. Back when we started, all the organizations that were really making things happen when it comes to public policy were really just focused on tax policy. And that's fine. But there are a lot of people that don't get all charged up about tax policy. They do get charged up over their civil rights. And there were a lot of gun owners who said, you know what, Republicans aren't doing anything. We had one party that took us for granted, the Republican Party, and we had another party that thought we were evil, the Democratic Party. And then we had the Libertarian Party that was completely ineffective and did absolutely nothing of any kind for anybody. I mean, it was the San Diego Libertarian Party, at least at the time, was a book club. They'd get around and in a meeting, and 6 or 7 of them would talk about some book they read, and there's a lot of hand wringing, and then they'd all go home. So I decided, you know what, we have to do something here. So we pulled different characteristics from these other groups, which involved money and people. They're the only two tools you have in politics are money and people. If you have great ideas and you have no money and no people, they don't get implemented. If you have horrible ideas and you have a ton of money and people, you turn into California. They get implemented. So we decided, you know what, that's what we're going to emphasize. We're going to have a full-time staff. We're going to get as many people as members as we can. We're going to raise as much money as we can. We're going to have a budget to help politicians directly get involved, get elected, I should say. And that was the basic idea, but then a lot of things came of it. We turned into the Second Amendment community. So anytime media has to, needs a comment, they'd go find the weirdest looking person they could find, and they would ask him some complicated political question, and whatever his answer was, they'd put it on the 6 o'clock news. And now they have a professional source that gives thoughtful answers, who understands, the nuance, and can sit down and explain to them and their viewers why things are good or bad. So that came about. Orange County and Inland Empire, that's Riverside and San Bernardino County, saw what we were doing. We expanded into those counties. So there's Orange County gun owners and Inland Empire gun owners. We found out that, people would make it to 40, 50 years old and never have touched a gun. So we do these educational shooting socials where we teach adults how to shoot a gun for the first time. So, and we have a women's program called Not Me. If you're a woman in San Diego or Orange County or Inland Empire, and you want to purchase a firearm, you need training on a firearm, or you want to get a carry permit, contact us and we will provide all of the above by assigning a volunteer who's also a woman to you. And she will help you. She'll get you to a store and show you how to buy a gun. She'll find training for you. She'll help you fill out the application to get a carry permit. And if any of that is cost prohibitive, we'll find a discount or a grant. And I got to tell you, the thing I am most proud of with this organization is we're no nonsense, roll up our sleeves and get the job done. There's not a lot of pontificating and complaining, and we're not a book club.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, always.